What if I told you that there's a place in India where hundreds of birds all of a sudden fall from the sky and die every year? No predator, no poison. They just crash and die. Shocking, right? Well, this is a place called Jatinga, a peaceful village in the beautiful hills of Assam with a spine-chilling secret. Every year during the end of monsoon season, hundreds of birds they just dive to their deaths and no one knows why. Scientists have examined this phenomena and they're still confused. Locals say it is because of a curse. But the truth? It's weirder than both. So let's unravel one of India's creepiest unsolved mysteries. But before that, make sure to subscribe to this channel and watch this video till the end, because the deeper you go, trust me, the stranger it gets. Let's rewind to early 1900s. People of Jatinga were used to quiet mountain life, lush green hills, and heavy monsoon. But something changed in one stormy night in September of 1905. Villagers noticed something truly bizarre. Birds started crashing down. At first they thought it's probably because of the lightning or storm. But then it happened again on the next day and again on all subsequent days. Every year between September and November, birds started crashing down to their deaths right after sunset between 6:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. And not just one or two, hundreds. But here's the creepiest part. All this phenomena was observed on a small patch of road in Jatinga, just about 1.5 kilometers long. Not in nearby town or not even the next hill over. Just on that small patch of road. Super creepy. Now imagine standing outside your house and seeing birds just dropping, crashing into trees, roofs and grounds. Obviously locals were terrified to see what was happening around them. Some believed that the forest spirits were angry. Others believed it was some sort of a black magic or a curse. Many would come out of their house with bamboo sticks and clubs, attacking any birds that flew close. They thought killing the birds quickly would stop the evil spirits from spreading. And who could blame them for thinking along these lines? If something like that happens around our neighborhood, we would panic too. And the strangest mystery is that this isn't some natural random event. It follows a very specific pattern. Here's what scientists and locals have observed. It only happens during foggy, windless and moonless night. Only between 6:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. Only in the last few weeks of the monsoon. And the weirdest of all, it only happens to birds that are nocturnal. Birds like tiger bittern, kingfisher, horned heron and Indian pitta. These birds are not supposed to be flying at night, and yet they are, straight into their deaths. People started calling it the bird suicide phenomena. But can really bird choose to die? That's where scientists stepped in. They didn't believe in any curses. They believed in data. And it turns out, birds were not trying to die. They were just lost, disoriented. In early 1970s, a British naturalist named Edward Pritchard Key showed up in Jatinga. And he noticed something strange. Birds always flew towards the light. In the evening, villagers would light up their lamps and torches. And in the foggy darkness, that's the only artificial light that birds could see. So he formulated a theory, which was later backed up by researchers from Bombay Natural History Society. His theory was, during monsoon season, birds lost their orientation because of clouds, fogs and winds. They lost their natural sense of direction. And then the only visible thing that they could see was the lights from the lamps and the torches. So they just dived towards it, only to crash into trees and homes and ground. So it's not a suicide, it's mass confusion. Now this theory seems very solid until you ask the next question. Why Jatinga? Rather, why only Jatinga? There are other villages with lights. There are other places with fog. But birds don't fall there. This is where it gets fascinating. You have two powerful forces clashing: traditional belief and modern science. On one side, local folklore says that hills are haunted by the spirits. Elders warn children not to step out of the house after the dusk during the falling season. Rituals and prayers are still performed in some households to protect the village. On the other side, ornithologists have studied the migratory routes and the wind patterns. Some have proposed to reduce the artificial lights to help birds avoid getting disoriented. And others have tried to study birds' inner ears and navigation systems to truly understand what is getting disrupted. And yet, there is still no explanation. Despite decades of research, no one has been able to fully crack this case. It's part science, it's part legend, and fully creepy. Now, here's something that often gets overlooked. Birds aren't the only ones affected here. For years, Jatinga was labeled haunted. People avoided it. Tourism dropped, locals felt ashamed. And some tourists who did visit came for the wrong reasons, to see the so-called bird suicide as an entertainment. Locals were blamed, but they were confused and scared too. Even now, as the season starts, some still light lamps, some hide indoors, and some still wait to see a day when all this stops. And I hope that day comes sooner. Now let me know your thoughts on why this happens. What do you think? If you have enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more such mysteries from around the world. See you next time.